Yo, what's up guys? What is going on? Zach or Immortal here. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Today we are jumping back into the world of Call of Duty Black Ops 4 to take a look at 5 things that I personally think desperately need fixing here within BO4 multiplayer. Now, I do really enjoy this game for the most part. I have a ton of fun grinding this game each and every day, but there are definitely a few things that I personally think it could be fixed or reworked just to make the game a little bit more enjoyable overall. Keep in mind, everything that I discuss, all 5 things in this video, are based off of my own personal preference. I highly doubt all you guys are going to think the exact same way as me, so be sure to let me know down in the comments what you guys think needs fixing in this game, what you would do to make Black Ops 4 just a little bit better. But honestly, I do think this game is a ton of fun and I am really enjoying it so far. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this list. The first thing in Black Ops 4 that I think it needs fixing is the cold-blooded perk. As it stands right now, cold-blooded really just is not a very beneficial perk to be running. It doesn't hide you from things very well. You're still very vulnerable to enemy score streaks, and I feel like one of the main things cold-blooded should do is protect you from those score streaks, and in this case it really doesn't. But good news for those of you guys who agree with me on this and think that cold-blooded does need to be fixed, it is actually getting looked at by Treyarch right now. It's been confirmed by some of the multiplayer devs that cold-blooded is going to get fixed here in the near future, and it will start hiding you better from score streaks. This means that the Hellstorms will no longer target you if you do have cold-blooded on. Same thing with attack helicopters. Maybe even the strike team and the gunship will be a little bit less effective against you if you have cold-blooded on. I'm not saying you need to be completely invisible, but I definitely think it should be harder to locate you or see you if you are running cold-blooded, since that sort of is the point of running this perk. The second thing here that I think needs to be fixed in Black Ops 4 is the mercenary modes. Personally, I don't think we have enough mercenary modes in this game. I feel like there should constantly be some sort of mercenary mode, both for TDM and kill confirmed, as well as for the capture mosh pit modes like control, domination, and hardpoint. For me, I am primarily a solo player. 95% of the time that I'm playing Call of Duty, I'm playing solo, just trying to record gameplays or level up or get dark matter or whatever. I really don't play in parties too much. And I don't know what it is about Black Ops 4's matchmaking. Maybe it's just the fact that everyone playing this game just has more friends than me, but I feel like every single time I jump into domination or hardpoint or even TDM sometimes, I'm constantly being matched against 3-man parties, 4-man parties, even 5-man parties, and I'm by myself on a team with just a bunch of random dudes, and we're just getting absolutely destroyed because this enemy team has, you know, a 3-man or a 4-man party, and they're all working together. They're controlling the spawns, they're calling in streaks back to back to back, and we're just getting roasted. Now, this could entirely be my own fault because I do choose to play solo, but for us solo players, I feel like a constant and permanent mercenary mode would be really helpful. I like playing against a bunch of solo players. You don't necessarily have that team coordination that you would if you're playing against a 3 or 4-man party. It does make things a little bit more interesting. Sometimes you get a really good team and you guys just destroy the enemies, and sometimes it feels like you're playing 1v6. Either way, I do feel like for solo players, mercenary modes are a lot more fun, and honestly what I turn to the majority of the time while playing BO4 solo is those mercenary modes. So I'd love to see one stay permanent for, you know, domination, hardpoint, control, those capture mosh pits in general, and maybe even TDM and kill confirmed. The third thing I think needs fixed here is the lack of variance both in reserves and tiers themselves. Personally, I think the most valuable thing out of the operations so far is variance, and we have like 4 of them. There's one for the SG-12, there's one for the Titan, one for the GKS, and one for the ICR. I think that's all the variants in the game that I know of, at least, or that I can think of off the top of my head for right now, and you don't really have a great chance at getting these variants unless, of course, you're getting the exact tiers. Only one of these variants is actually coming from reserves, and that is the SG-12 Boombox variant. And for having so many tiers that are reserve based, you know, after you get past tier 200, it's nothing but reserves. You get so much junk like stickers and tags and gestures and stuff that's really just not that exciting or valuable whatsoever. So I definitely think there needs to be more variance in reserves and more variance in tiers, especially if they're cosmetic only. I mean, they're not doing anything to the physical game. The gun still plays the same. All it does is look a little bit different. Sure, it might have a better iron sight or a worse iron sight in some cases, but that's not actually affecting how fast it kills or how strong the weapon is itself. So I definitely think that variants in this game, as they are cosmetic only, are a good thing, and I for one would love to see more of this good thing here. I'd love to see more variants in reserves and in tiers. Moving on, the fourth thing that I think needs fixing here in Black Ops 4 is the combat knife lunge mechanic. For those of you guys who have gone for dark matter, maybe you have it or maybe you're still grinding it out, if you've used the combat knife, you know that it is super awkward. It's super weird. I've used the knives in previous games to get whatever secret camo it may be, chrome, dark matter, whatever, and the knives haven't felt that bad, but in this game, the knife just feels so weird for whatever reason. The lunge mechanic just doesn't feel like it works right. There will be times where I'll run up to an enemy and I'll stab right in front of his chin, and I just don't get the kill. Like, there's no reason my knife missed other than the fact that my dude is just not functioning as a regular human being. Or I'll go to knife somebody from behind and my lunge like teleports me in front of them, and then I get shot in the back. Like, I've had the weirdest experiences using the combat knife in this game because the lunge mechanic is so uncontrollable and unpredictable just at random increments throughout the game. There will be times when it works great and I'll like commando lunge somebody for a kill that I totally don't deserve. But then there's other times where I feel like I should get a super easy kill and it turns into me just looking like a moron in game and the enemy team probably teabagging me because they just roasted me as I should have gotten an easy kill. And finally, the fifth thing that I think needs fixing here in Black Ops 4 is the spawn system. Some of the maps in this game, man, they have got bad spawns. Don't get me wrong, maps like Slums and Summit and these remake maps that we've seen from previous Call of Duties, the spawn system is for the most part the same. Firing range is a little bit questionable because those spawns can be really, really bad. If you get a strike team on firing range, it is spawn trap central. But you know, Slums, that's pretty much the same spawn system that we had back in Black Ops 2. I feel like not too many people are complaining about that because it's something that we've seen in the past, but some of the other maps in this game, the spawn system is really, really bad. I was actually playing on Arsenal the other day, and I, by myself, playing solo, was single-handedly able to spawn trap an entire 5-man enemy team in their own spawn, and I wasn't doing anything except for sitting outside of it because they kept spawning in the same 3 places time and time again. I feel like it just shouldn't be that predictable. It shouldn't be that easy to spawn trap an enemy team, especially by yourself. If you're running in a 5-man party, sure, you should be able to spawn trap all you want. You should be able to control the map down to a T because your entire team is working together. But if you're rocking a solo game and you could single-handedly keep the enemies in the same 3 spawn locations for 5 minutes straight, something is questionable there. I feel like that should not be a functioning mechanic. That should definitely be reworked or altered in some way, shape, or form. And I know this is another thing that Treyarch is actually looking into. I do know that in the past hotfixes and patches that Treyarch has actually already updated some of these spawn points on certain maps and in certain modes, but I do think that it is something that needs to be looked into a little bit more until we don't have these wild and wacky spawns that we do have on some of the maps and in some of the modes. You know, obviously in Hardpoint the spawns are a lot more inconsistent because the main control portion of the map is constantly moving, but in Dom, where there's just the A, B, and C flag and it's the same all game long, the spawns are a lot more constant, which I totally get in a game mode like Domination, but I do feel like there should be a break in the system at some point that throws in a little bit of variety rather than, you know, the same 1, 2, or 3 spawn points for 5 minutes in a row. That I feel like is a little bit broken and could use some fixing. And with that being said, that wraps up my list of 5 things I think desperately need fixing here within Black Ops 4. Be sure to let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with my list? Do you guys disagree with it? What would you add? What would you change? I'm curious to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big old thumbs up, slap that like button, it'd be much appreciated. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe with your channel notifications turned on. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.